Bank of Australia. So all the teller counters are all shut. Wow. In the old days, they had a little gyro slips in there. Where are those things? These were the apps of the old times. Marble podium or gondola with a lovely featured brass and marble, and then while you're waiting for your turn, you'll be on a leather seat. Wow, the historic Bank of New South Wales. The ledgers, the typewriter, look at all those. Savings bank signature book. So you come and deposit, and it will be maybe a little piece of land. Wow, treasure chest. Handy machine. Calculate how much, and you will pass the check through there. The check goes through there, comes out. And I have had this experience as a little accounting clerk. My summertime as a teenager, summertime schoolwork. I feed the check through here, and it pops out at the other end, and it registers. And if you doesn't register, you'll have to type in by hand the key, the check number, the lot. Wow. Hunter region. Lovely. What a joy. The banking clerks all in suits. Melbourne Olympics. People who walked the earth are now sharing there, leaving behind a legacy for us to learn from. Isn't it beautiful? And then wow, the war loan. What are we going to get for this time? Huh? First head office. 1850 Bank of New South Wales granted a new constitution to support the Act of Parliament. This has allowed the bank to operate beyond Sydney. See, this is the old days. You could only do your little nonsense around where you are. And then they pass laws and you got to pay taxes, and how we carry on. Nice. Sorry about not giving you the real details of the history here. Just running the, oh, look at it. I've been working on one of these as well. William Hills. Yeah. Typing turf accountant as a part-time kiddo learning accountings. Fantastic. Beautiful. Travelers checks, and I had these from American Express when I was a little kiddo, going around paying my school fees around the world. Wow. How incredible. My mom and I would go, my dad and I would go to the bank, and Dad will countersign, and I had to sign at the school bursar's office, count out all the dollars or the pounds, sterlings, or Hong Kong dollars or Singapore dollars. Yeah. And then when I was exchange student in New Zealand, I had to count the New Zealand travelers checks, New Zealand dollars, the travelers checks, go to the bank, cash them for my little food. Those days, fabulous. Look at the old heater. And then when it's the winter time, there will be the light. Wow, how beautiful. Fabulous, fabulous. Nobody's here to learn this history. And then you would come here and you would drop your checks if you wish to, just learn there. And the cashier will be here handing out with a little piece of paper, stamping your deposit and savings book. Nice. And then when it's your turn, you sit here. When it's your turn, beep, counter number 9, the bulb will flash. Fabulous feature. The history. Don't you want to know the history of banking? Nice. There we have it. Wow. So we speak. Maybe I'll put the nice. Wait for my turn at the teller. The bulb on there will flash when the teller is ready for you to walk up to the podium to deposit your check, give your savings book. What a joy of the old days, right? Today everything is linked up, including your blood and its blood group, to the money. The money and blood is all linked up today on an app. And that is the way forward. From the moment you come out of your mother's womb, that is the future of our next generation for some reason. And that may well be the forward, putting the emphasis on individual, yet ultimately getting accumulated just like a savings account of the humanity in one particular way of seeing it, and having the account and accounts of many under one code. Hello, good morning everyone. The gathering today is for reconciliation of all the accounts and the audits and targets and all of your achievements individually and as a collective team and a union. And how about you, David? How about you, Sunil? And how about you, Richard? And how about you, Petra? And how about you, Johnson? And how about you, Emily? I'm here to listen from you as to exactly how you managed to achieve your individual performances and why you couldn't make those large targets I have set aside. But if you haven't managed it, tell me. Tell me as it is. I don't want to hear stories. I don't want to know the stories. I want to know exactly what was possible and what was not possible. What is possible, I don't want to hear. What wasn't possible is what I wanted to hear. And exactly why I'm spending the time with you this morning, and maybe have this meeting to become of a constructive way forward, rather than having to have a discussion of difference and why we couldn't arrive at our given targets. Is it because you were capable enough, or is it because you were given too much beyond your scope of your attributes and of your competence and so on? So with said all of that, I'm here just to listen and not to criticize, nor to point to anyone particular about their failure or their overwhelming performance. I'm only here to hear your actual involvement in doing what you're doing. Are you willingly doing, or are you unwillingly doing? If you're willingly doing anything, it'll be joyful to see you smiling. None of you are smiling. What is it? What is it that is holding your joy of doing the job that you are so wanting to do after 6 months of being in this prestigious and world nationally renowned company, yet none of you are proud, none of you are joyful. I cannot see any smiles, I cannot see any containment or ecstatic exuberance of being the person you are. I have hired all of you for your exceptionalism, your overwhelming joy, overwhelming interest to be part of this team. Yet, this morning, and as we sat down for the meeting, none of you could actually sincerely say to yourself, by an action of at least greeting to each other and one another, and a bit of a joyful, relaxing feeling about yourselves with each other. And whilst I walked into the room, all of you was almost dumbfounded. No smiles. Why? I want you to open up. Opening up, speaking your mind, speaking freely, speaking of exactly how you feel to be part of this great business, great corporation, great importance of being part of our wonderful team. So I wait to hear from you all. Would you like me to meditate and close my eyes whilst I hear each one of your words of contribution to exactly how you feel and how you achieved and what your achievements are? Am I an idiot myself, talking too much about things? Your boss must not cause your anxiety, fear, distrust, disappointment. The person who leads you should be the example of our business and our success. We must not go around the table we must get around each other and embrace the qualities of our working ethics, qualities of individual attributions. Let it shine, let it flower, let it thrive, let it live up to the fullest fledge of life, rather than this fear of being cornered, or fear of being sidelined, or fear of being fired, fear of getting the email or the written note of the termination. It should determine for you to speak up, open up, embrace the very value of who you are, and share that amongst all of us. For the laughing of my odd character. Anyway, the meeting is dismissed. I hope the secretary has taken all of the notes and the brief of our meeting, and I shall, not having to see you all, but to come and see you all, to see you do better than I am.